Watch me ride.
Well, it's nice today, but it's not going to be soon. Hey everybody. I'm actually on the wrong bike to be doing this video. I've already done this video kind of once before now, but I had audio issues. And then this morning I went to ride him, and guess who hasn't put him on the optimizer for about 3 or 4 days? And yeah, Derek's battery's dead again. It has definitely got some dead cells or some dying cells in it, and it doesn't hold a charge all that well. On the optimizer it's fine, you know, it lasts a few days. So my fault, and that's why I'm making this important video on the wrong bike really. But as I say, given the coming weather, I was kind of like, no, let's just get out and get this video remade. And actually DIVI could do with a run because, you know, I haven't ridden her a week. Because what I did was I rode Derek for the week, because I was basically, as you know, considering having to sell him. And I rode him for a week, and it just dawned on me, I can't sell him. I just can't do it. I love that bike too much. It means too much to me. And I know it is a luxury, but it's pretty much the only luxury I get. So I was like, no, if it makes you happy to keep it, keep it. So that's what I'm doing. I've just paid the tax on him. The MOT is due in a few days actually, so I'm going to get that sorted out. The insurance is due later on this month, so I'll pay that, and that's for both bikes. But I'm hoping that my insurance will be a good price this year, because this is the first time in a long time I've been able to say, when they say, have you had a crash, fault or non-fault in the past 5 years, I've always had to say yes. Now I can say no. And I can also say that I'm 32, I don't have any ports on my licence, you know, I have all the things, and the bikes are locked and secured overnight. You know, I have everything to my hand to hopefully get the best price insurance I can get. As you know, if you watch the Metalworks, I've just had to spend out a load of money on tooling. And another bill that I've just paid, which was the most painful one, was my PO box, because that was about to run out, because it's only lasted 6 months at a time. £171 for 6 months. All they do is it means that when it goes to my local sorting office, they have a different address and they go, oh, we'll send it to that person. Literally, that's the only difference. But I need it for a return address for my business, and also for the people who are very kind and send me, you know, old sprockets and stuff to make, and disc brakes and all those sorts of things to make stuff out of in the Metalworks. No, I haven't actually received a package from anyone in a couple of months, I think. You know, it's just the way it is. I should bash on about it a bit more, because like, it does seem that if you don't mention something for more than 1 or 2 videos, it's like no one knew it even existed. So I will be mentioning it more. I am massively appreciative to anyone who sends me anything through for the Metalworks. The weird thing is, though, is that I was really worried about, you know, having to keep Derek and pay all these bills out and do all this stuff, and you know, I was really having problems dealing with it, like trying to work out what I was going to do. And then that's when I was just like, do you know what? Sorry, I'm just going to keep the bike, I've got to do it, I'll just make it work, I'm going to just have to work really hard. Since I've just paid all the bills, well, most of them, and just been committed to, you know, I've got the bike, I've paid for it now, I might as well keep it for the next 6 months at least. The stress and the worry's kind of gone away, because now I know what my problem is, I know what I'm up against, I know what I've got to try and recoup, and I'm just like, I can do that, I'll just work my arse off. And I find that actually has made me feel really okay with the situation and happy and not worried again, which is just bizarre, because it's like the worst case scenario is what I actually caused to happen, but now I'm happy with it. It's like, what? But obviously if in 6 months time I haven't recouped that, or I'm getting into a worse and even worse situation, I'll then be in a position where I won't have a choice, and it will be the best decision to sell him. But knowing that's the sort of cost of failure, nah, I'm going to work my butt off. So good news! And apologies that I've been a bit all over the place for a while. Well, I've been dealing with a lot of stuff, and I've had a lot of things just pile up, and you know what it's like, they say bad things comes in 3s, so they came in like 7s and 8s. but I'm still here, and I'm going to make it work. So, yeah, positive stuff. Now, I mentioned the weather, I'm sure you've seen this, but about 3 days before the news of that weather broke, I was looking at some weather charts and was like, oh god. There is a lot of low pressure here and high pressure here, and there's a lot of cold air over there, and oh my god, I don't think this is very good. So 3 days, like 2 or 3 days after that, the news breaks that next week we're getting -3, -4 most days, and from the looks of it, we're going to get a load of snow. normally, and this will mean this, I won't be riding as much, and that's kind of why I wanted to get this video made. But if it does snow a lot, I'm going out on Derek. There's no question about it. I've been waiting for snow since before I started vlogging. The night I had to ride, I think it was 2010, when I had to ride back from work in the snow. What normally takes me 4 minutes took me 45, but it was the funnest 45 minutes of my life. I remember back on that day with great fondness. It was so fun. So yeah, if it does snow, expect a video on Derek. Not on Divi, no chance, but on Derek, yeah. As I say, he's on charge now, so he'll have power by then. And when I did a quick check over the bike for the sort of pre-MOT that I do to make sure it's going to pass, and it was like, the chain and the sprockets, of course, they're at the end of their life. So I'm going to have some Derek keychains coming at some point in the future, some more actual Derek ones, and a Derek clock from the rear sprocket. I think I'm going to save the piece of carbon fibre I've got for that clock, because Derek deserves a bit of carbon, even if he hasn't got any himself. I think what really helped push me over the edge with the whole Keep Derek thing is that I had a few comments about it, and people were just like, come on man, you know what you think of that bike, you know what that means to you. You can't sell it. And I'm like, I actually agree with you. Normally in these sorts of situations, it's like, well, that's my decision to make, but you're bang on. I couldn't do it. I realised the other day, I think I quit my job as a chef just under 2 years ago. And yeah, a lot of stuff has happened in that time that wasn't good, and it's been a very stressful time, but I'm still here. I'm still on my bikes. I'm still, making videos and doing what I want to do, and I've developed things, and I was just like, well, I don't know how you've done it, but you have managed to wing it through this far. I'm pretty sure this is something you can get through. So yeah, I'm going to do it. I've done it. And I will say it again because I think it's important to say this, because, there's not a huge amount of people that do, and they deserve a thank you. Thank you to everyone that supports this channel. The people that buy the keychains and bits of merch, and the people who send me a couple of quid each month through PayPal. There's not a huge amount of you, but the little bit adds up, and it really is helping out. And I'm glad that, people are happy to support me like that. I know people keep saying to me, get a Patreon, and it's like, well, no, as I've said, I don't really like it because it's a service. But the way I see it is that you should have lots more extra content, and I can't be sure that I can do that, so I'm not going to commit myself at that point. But yeah, it's just to say thank you to all of my supporters. I deeply mean that, and I will be saying that more regularly, but I'm probably just going to shorten it to, like, thank you to all my supporters, but just to know what it actually means. It's not just like, oh, thanks guys, it's a proper heartfelt thanks that I just don't want to have to keep repeating, because a lot of people then start hating me because they're like, they don't like that people support this channel. I'm not kidding. I get that from people. Chickens. That is a pretty impressive cock right there. No cars coming? No. They're having little dust baths. You're filthy. What's also extremely positive and making me very happy is, as I've mentioned, making the Metalworks videos. I absolutely love doing it. I make them for me as I wish to make them, as I like to watch videos of that style. And I just hope that, it won't be for everyone's taste, and some people think that I could do things differently and I could do it in a more, this way it would make it more watchable if you make them shorter. That's not what those videos are about. Those videos are about making videos that I truly want to make in the way that I want to make them. And it's working. The viewership is increasing. I've even had comments from people saying, I'll be honest, at first I didn't get it. Now I've been watching a few and I'm hooked. I love it. So if you didn't give the Metalworks a chance, maybe give it another chance. I'm sure, yeah, it's just not for some people. Some people just aren't into the making side of things, but some people are. And some people have said they've been inspired to start making some things of their own, and that is just great. Getting people being creative in the same way that people say, I've inspired them to ride bikes. That is just it's the best thing. Because I remember the other people that inspired me, and it becomes like a cyclical thing where you inspire each other. And the inspired become the inspirees. Is that what I mean? Inspirees or inspirers? Yeah, I think so. The inspirees become the inspirers, and it goes on, and these crafts continue. So in short, I'm going to have to work my arse off. I'm up against a challenge, but I'm more positive about it now than I have been in months. Probably because I know, as I say, I think it's because I know my enemy. I know my challenge, I know what I'm up against, and I'll take it head on. And nut it! Sorry I'm not riding somewhere more interesting. As I say, I was going to do this on Derek and go and have a play around in the car parks and stuff, but his battery be dead. It's sounds really annoying, it's only a year old, but it's just the cold. Even Divi struggled a little bit because she's been sat for a week, not been ridden, and the cold out in that garage, I mean, it is making it difficult for me to work out there, to be honest. I do need to work out some way of heating it, but you know, a little electrical heaters use an awful lot of electricity and are very inefficient, but they're quite cheap. And then there's other types of heaters which are more efficient, but they're more expensive, and it's like I can really do without doing that at the moment, so I don't know, short of having a little bonfire in there. I know, of course, I'll die from the asphyxiation, won't I? That is a point, actually. If I'm working in there next week and it's -4, oh my god. What am I going to do? I don't know. And the thing is, I can wrap up warm, that's fine. It's just my hands get frozen and everything I'm touching is made of metal, so that's really cold. And, I mean, like yesterday, I was trying to get some circlips off of to get some bearings out of an engine casing. And it kept, you know, when it keeps popping off, and I, like, flicked my fingers against the edge of that casing several times, and oh my god, my finger is still hot and sore now. It's wide. I mean, I get that, like, you know, the nerve endings are more sensitive when they're cold, but Jesus Christ, it seems to do more damage at the same time. Or maybe I'm just hitting it a lot harder than I realise, and because it's numb, you don't realise. I don't know, it's... Oh, working in the cold and metal and stuff, it's not pleasant, but I love it at the same time. I can't wait for the summer though, I'm really looking forward to that. Nice warm days in the summer, be in the garage, you know, building away. I know the production quality on the Metalworks videos is not fully up to where I'd like it to be yet, but I just have to make do with what I've got, as I say. I'm using an old camcorder and a 600D with no autofocus or anything like that, and it's kind of working out. I could do with getting another LED light panel, but things can wait. So that's basically it. It's just, I know there's been a lot of stuff going on, there's been a lot of uncertainty, and I wanted to get one video put together that's like, look, this is what's happening, this is the situation, and this is it, we're moving forward now. Which is an extremely positive thing to say, and I'm feeling very good about this year, you know. Oh, you remember I said about I was going to be testing an electric bike soon? That was actually supposed to happen possibly next week or the week after. I might delay that for the weather. I'm going to have a word with them. When I last emailed them, I did say to them, look, we can provide that date, but I think it might be an idea to push it back a little bit until we got some better weather, because, you know, let's face it, because the first time riding an electric motorcycle, which does handle and control differently to a normal bike, I'd rather be doing that in conditions that aren't sub-zero, because I'm pretty sure if I drop it, I'll have a big excess to pay. But I'm going to end it there. So much positivity in the face of adversity. And you can follow the story along and see if I fail or I succeed. Who knows what's going to happen. Thank you for watching. Also, welcome to all the new people to the channel. This is one of the interesting things, you know, the Metalworks does seem to be drawing new people in, and my channel seems to be doing quite a lot better than it has been for quite a while, so that's something I'm really, you know, happy about. So welcome to the new people. This is a bit of a different place to most YouTube channels. We're a bit all over the place, but it's basically built on honesty and being real and none of that bullshit of some YouTubers have. You know what I mean? As I say, we're a bit different around here. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, and I'll catch you next time.
Right, I don't want to see any Jackie Chan bollocks. I want to see some windmilling in. And if you've got a set of keys on you, stick them in your hand and make them count.